goes Liddell. Meanwhile, the Isdell car begins to close up in the hands of Tim Harvey on Pete Hall. Looking for the inside now as we go into Woodcut. Bang! And off the road goes Pete Hall. Onto the grass, out of it, opposite lock to lock slides. Harvey then with the Rover. And ahead of him, that leading bunch. We can just see the back there. You can discern the colour of the Dennis Leach car. But here is Win Percy, the man who survived a 220 miles per hour accident at Le Mans only a matter of 3 or 4 weeks ago. Going for it in the lead in a championship which, of course, as far as he's concerned, he's back in for the first time in 3 years in the European Championship, in the International Championship. This was the big force to be reckoned with. The 42 years old, red-haired, West Country garage proprietor showing why it is that he is the man who everyone wants for touring car racing this year. And Sittner there, very well up the Listerine car, Graham Good. Harvey trying to catch Leach in a car that definitely has a braking problem. And I think that's why he hit Pete Hall. But here, past the back marker, you can see how late the brakes are being left before they go on that leading Sierra. And this is the reason why. Certainly, as far as even a 15-lap race is concerned, the M3 BMW is kind to tires. It brakes well and could very well be a force to be reckoned with. Meanwhile, the Sierra has a tyre problem. By 15 laps, this car will be down really on the margin. And however gently when Percy drives it, he knows that. Andy Rouse has had problems already this year. But here's a man with another problem. Hodgett still holding off Tim Liddell. Rear-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive. In car once again. And the Toyota going up under full acceleration. Backs off slightly now, feeding in the throttle and steering the car on the throttle through Club Corner, onto the curb, off it again. Flat out. Holding onto that gear lever, up he goes into 5th gear. And then back down through the box again. He'll brake just a little bit later on the Rover because it's a lighter car. 2 gears so quickly, indeed 3 gears so quickly there, hardly bothering to let the clutch in between them. Going through the motions of putting it through the box, but not really using the box in any way. And this is Dave Brodie. This car, which we've seen so irregularly over the last 2 years, could well have won the championship had it been a regular competitor. And Brodie knows that, and Brodie would so desperately like to catch this man, Win Percy, in the lead. But it's ahead of him now. The BMW, Frank Sittner. Is this the question of the tyre showing once more? Brodie holding on, Brodie trying to go around the outside. And Sittner, one of the hardest men in the business, is not going to give an inch. They briefly look as if they were going to touch there. And Sittner has to give best. And now, under braking for Beckett's corner, the slowest corner on the circuit. And the brakes of the Mitsubishi holding on there. Go past the Astra, being lapped, and down the straight. And here into Stowe Corner, and Frank Sittner looking for the inside, but the door is firmly closed. Dave Brodie, who's been driving saloon cars now for 17 years. There is Harvey, now right on the tail, as we rather expected. Dennis Leach, the man under pressure. In car with Tim Harvey, the man with 2 wins behind him, the youngest competitor for top-class honours, and getting over 2 broken ankles, which made him make his mind up to concentrate on saloon car racing in 1987. And with ability like this, and the chances of the World Championship ahead of him, who can blame him? And the 2 Rovers absolutely neck and neck. And watch him brake here. This is Harvey's strong point. He's always been good under braking. And although this car has a braking problem, he's still able to stay with Leach there. And Leach much more ragged. And now he's looking to try and get alongside. Out came the tail of Leach's car. And he'll try and find a way, either on the inside preferably, but the door's closed. Into Cobb's Corner. We're going to see a similar effort here. And a look perhaps on the inside. Yes. Through on the inside, under braking, as if almost Dennis Leach was standing still. Out comes Harvey, 2 wheels on the curb, off it again in a finely judged manoeuvre. Win Percy still out in front, reeling off the laps in this, the 6th round. of the 1987 Dunlop British Touring Car Championship and showing why he's the master. Down towards Stowe Corner, in Andy Rouse's hands, who prepares the cars and is otherwise engaged in the World Touring Car Championship. This car is a winner, but it would seem that Percy, with the gentle touch, the man who uses up less tyres, less brakes, and less of a car than anybody else, is the master, with headlights ablaze now, closing on slower cars. There is the Mitsubishi, there the BMW. In second and third places, Graham Good fourth. And here's the battle with the Estelle Rover of Harvey just ahead, and that's Pete Hall, recovering from that incident and driving with a savagery to take himself back in front, if he can, of the Rovers. And through comes Percy. Here the second, third place battle, a bit more breathing space for the Mitsubishi. Dave Brodie, whose experience goes back to the 60s, once the director of Williams Grand Prix Engineering. He must be feeling pleased with Frank's success here at Silverstone today. First and second, can he get better than second in the Dunlop British Touring Car Championship? The M3 holding on a third place. Graham Good going so in the Listerine car. And can Harvey catch him now? Of course, has to be the question, because points are at stake. There are 12 rounds in this championship. And of course, Win Percy is the interloper here, because whatever points he scores are not perhaps going to be important from the championship point of view, and the others all know this. Settler trying to close that gap. And here, another view of the leading car as he weaves his way in and out of traffic. Two slower cars between him and the opposition. Coming up now on Chris Hodgetts, the Class D leader, towards the apex of Copse, holding it on the throttle. The cornering speed's similar, but watch the difference as they come out. And no doubt we're going to see Win Percy come blasting by as they come up towards Maggots. He indicates that's what he wants on that side of the road, and there goes the Sierra. An amazing difference through this very quick part, and then breaking down through Beckett's. The final lap, with in second place then Dave Brodie, and third place Frank Sittler, in fourth place Graham Good, in fifth place Tim Harvey. Harvey sideways finding his way past a couple of slower cars. Another signal there from Hodgetts that he would like, going down the Hanger straight, this Duran to come past him. He has, but ahead of him now on his last lap, using all the road and looking as if he might have a minor handling problem, because he's lost a bit of that advantage that he had, is Win Percy. The tyres no doubt are going off a little, and we watch now as Hodgetts comes out onto the curb, off again. Would you entrust your milk deliveries to this man? Well, that's probably why he gave it up. Through Abbey Curve. Up now, signalling once again, come by me on my left, please. And Win Percy is coming up to take the checkered flag here at Silverstone to win round 6 of the Dunlop British Touring Car Championship, ahead of the Mitsubishi Starion. In second place there of Dave Brodie, and in third place Frank Sittler. Win Percy waves at the crowd before coming round to the presentation to take Class A honours. Frank Sittler wins Class